4 centuries before the collapse, second, but as traveler was buried beneath Neomuna, its pulse echoes a silence older than the war. 4 centuries before the collapse, allies, second, but as traveler was buried beneath Neomuna strategists in a conflict beyond light and darkness. They watch, they wait, but for what? No, but for what accident? The 9 stand within its folds not as guardians, but as executors. A key turns in a lock unseen. If the witness confessed the traveler's lief, the light was stolen, not given, then every shield we raise is a blade aimed at the wrong target. The 9 do not war against darkness, they war against the traveler's design, a reset, a correction. The sword logic fractures. What we called salvation may be a prison, what we called enemies may be liberators. The cosmos bends toward a question older than the light. What are we becoming? The answer will unmake everything we know. The Veil's awakening on Neomuna mirrored the traveler's light-wind forces, opposing purposes. The 9's emissary moves without voice, without form, a shadow that breathes. In Trials of the 9 its silence was not absence but a cipher, a language older than the city's spires. What if the Veil's purpose is not to destroy the traveler, but to replace it? The 9 watch guardians not as adversaries, but as pawns in a war we cannot see. Their patience is not passive. It is calculation. Every strike against the light tests its mettle, its limits, its vulnerability. The traveler is the target. The guardians are the gauge. We mistake shadows for threats, but darkness has its own strategy. The emissary's veil does not hide its face. It hides its eyes. 148 words. The ghost fragment, the 9 states they are paracausal parasites latched on a dark matter during the Sol system's early days. This reframes them as entities that exist outside normal causality, capable of manipulating the very fabric of reality. Their presence in the veiled to the traveler's design suggests a deeper, more insidious agenda than mere observation. The books of sorrow call them witnesses, yet their eyes pierce dimensions, tracking not guardians but the traveler itself. What if the Veil's murk isn't a barrier but a chessboard? The 9 do not observe, they calculate. Every flicker in the dark, every whisper of light, these are moves in a war fought without weapons, without sound. The traveler's glow, a beacon they've shaped since the system's cradle. Its light is not defiance, it is bait. Could their silence be a language we've failed to decode? A whisper woven into the void's breath, older than the shining city's fall. We see parasites, they see architects. The line between predator and prey bends where time does not. What waits when the traveler's flame falters? 278. The emissary's veil is not a mask, it is a mirror. A faceless throat hums hymns only the 9 decipher. They speak in shadows, not words. Guardians chase answers through void-echoed riddles, but the emissary's silence is a door left ajar intentionally. Buried in a grimoire card from Destiny 1, a line, the 9 require a mouth but no face. Most dismissed it as flavor text. A ghost fragment now, yet the pattern holds. The emissary is not a messenger, it is a prison, a bottleneck. A chokehold on truth. The 9's war is not written in light or dark, it is etched in what they withhold. Every cryptic directive, every half-answer, these are not traps, they are erasures, to erase the shape of their war. To erase the traveler's role in it. You think they test guardians? No, they test the traveler. The emissary's whispers are not guidance, they are gauntlets. Each trial a stone tossed into the abyss, measuring how the light shatters. What if the 9's silence is not strategy? What if it is containment, a veil not to hide themselves but to cage something older? Something the 9 serve but do not see. The traveler's flame does not falter, it is being shaped. And the 9, through their mute puppet, carve the mold. The weight of light is a burden the cosmos never asked to bear. The witness, thief of radiance, spoke truths that curdled the void. The traveler's flame is not salvation, but a wound kept fresh. The 9, those silent architects, have not opposed the light. They have anticipated its collapse. Every guardian resurrected, every tomb rekindled threads and illume the traveler cannot see. The hollowed swarm not as chaos, but as consequence. A parasite's bloom where the witness theft left rot. What if the Nine's vigil is not prophecy, but cleanup? They watch not to warn, but to catalog failures in a system designed to fail. The veil, that shifting partition, is no shield, it is a quarantine, and we, clad in light's brittle armor, are the disease. The traveler's will, so often our shield, is the catalyst. Each resurrection binds us tighter to a cycle the Nine have long since abandoned. They do not fear the light's extinction. They await its inevitability. The confession burns, the light is not a hero, but a half measure. A patch on a cosmos unraveling since before the dragon's flight. The Nine, exiled or exorcised, have turned wardens into jurors. They let us rise, let us fall, let us claw at the witness shadow so they might chart the precise moment we outgrow the light's lie. The traveler's flame is a stage set, and the Nine, from their box beyond the veil, wait for us to improvise. The question festers, unspoken yet absolute. What are we becoming? Not guardians, not heroes, not even human. The light's theft was not an end, it was a catalyst, a spark to see how darkness shapes what it devours. The Nine's silent war is not against the traveler, it is against hope, and we, in our armor, are the battlefield. The lore calls the Nine unaligned, their veil-forged campaigns scream strategy. How can chaos mask design? Consider the Drifter's season, a storm that erodes both light and void. The Nine do not choose, they erode. A gambit revealed in paradox. By letting the traveler's light fracture, they starve the darkness of its foil. No faction wins. No faction learns, the Guardians clash, blind to their roles as counters in a grander game. The veil is not a wall, it is a lens. Through it the Nine harvest entropy, refining it into something older than light. Their silence is a weapon. Their war is not ours, yet we wear their armor, march their board. What if the Nine's true power lies not in destroying hope but in making it irrelevant? Neutrality was never their weakness. It was their weapon, we are the battlefield, they are the architects. The Nine do not watch from beyond the veil, they act. They resurrect guardians through the traveler's will, not to preserve hope, but to bind it to their design. Every light they channel, every battle they wage, these are threads in a tapestry we cannot see. The traveler's legacy fractures not from external force, but from within, its power siphoned back into the veil's shadowed architecture. Why? To ensure no rival light may rise, the guardians are pawns, not heroes. The traveler's will is their stage, its resurrection alone, not a gift. The Nine's war is silent because sound would invite scrutiny. Their strength lies in what they withhold, the true shape of the game, the rules etched in the veil's ancient code. They do not fight guardians, they manipulate the conditions that make guardians possible. Every triumph against the Hive, the Vex, the Taken is a distraction. The real war is the slow unraveling of the light's purpose, its essence repurposed to fortify the veil's dominion. The evidence is in the gaps, what histories omit, what whispers fade. The Nine's agenda is not ambiguity, it is precision. They wait not for chaos but for inheritance. The traveler's power is not theirs to destroy, it is theirs to inherit. And when the final thread is pulled, the guardians will not realize they were never the enemy, they were the heir. The heir to a throne that never existed, 223 words. The witness did not steal light, it stole a crown. The traveler's glow was never a beacon, it was a wound, a missing shard from the Nine's original fracture. Every guardian pulled from dust believes they fight for salvation. They fight for a war the Nine kindled millennia before their first breath. The Red War was not a rebellion. It was a rehearsal, the beyond light a pivot, the final shape a checkpoint. The Nine do not war for power. They war for symmetry, stitching the cosmos back to its primordial form, where light and darkness were not forces but facets of a single, shattered prism. Your resurrection is not mercy, it is a signature on a contract. The traveler's sacrifice was a key turned in a lock the Nine had already picked. You bear its light not as air but as artifact, a bridge, a placeholder, until the void's old gods remember how to bleed. What if the traveler's confession was not defeat but clarity? It knew from the start that its light was a lie. A placeholder, the Nine watch not to guide but to curate. They do not need your war, they need your will. And when the last guardian falls, will the throne finally take shape? or has it already, in the silence between stars? And if you think this is unsettling, what of the garden's first game? The gardener and winnower played, yet the rules remain ours to guess. The 9 move in shadows, watch closely. The 9 stand behind the veil's curtain, but curtains hide not just light, but eyes. What if their silence is a vow, their watchfulness a strategy? The veil, that relic we believe to guard, may instead bind, not the traveler, us. Every battle a guardian wages, every life they take, feeds the chains. They are not our protectors. They are the architects of a design we cannot perceive. What if the throne